Hey guys, it's Ashley Kirkwood with Speak Your Way to Cash. All right, so really excited to be here with you guys today. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm really excited to be here with you guys today. We are going to be talking about all things how do you make more sales? How do you make more sales? And one of the things that I'm excited to talk about is simple four parts. I was thinking about what are the four things that you need to do if you want to make more sales? What are the four things that you need to do if you want to make more sales? And one of the things that you need to do if you want to make more sales is you need to plan. Now, that sounds simple, but we're going to go through a four-part strategy and I'm going to give you some details about what you need to do in order to make more sales. Now, the reason why I'm going to do this, you may be like, why are you going to do this, Ashley? Well, I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this because today we are celebrating the launch of the Speak Your Way to Cash Resurgence Tour. Now, if you don't know what that is, then I don't know where you've been, but if you've been following me, it's literally all I've been talking about for the last week or so. And the Resurgence Tour is something that we're doing at our company where we are going to come to you. We're going to come to your city. We are going to come to your city and we are going to give you a sales strategy to grow your business. Yes, I'm going to come to your city. I'm pulling up to a city near you, and I'm going to give you a strategy to make more sales in your business. So I'm really excited about that. I know that's going to be incredible. It's going to be life changing, life altering. And so if you are someone who's like, hey, I really am interested in increasing my sales, then you need to be there. And now I want to be really clear. This is not only for people who feel like, hey, sales aren't working out. It's for everyone who feels like there is a way for them to make more money in their business and they want to actually have some strategy around that. Well, that is exactly what the Resurgence Tour is for. So I'm very much looking forward to helping you guys to do that. So I'm coming in person to show you how to increase sales in your business. So if you're ready, drop ready in the comments. If you're ready for these four parts, drop ready in the comments. If you're ready, drop ready in the comments. And we're going to get started. Okay. So number one, and the other thing that I want you guys to do, if any of you buy your ticket to the Resurgence Tour while I'm live, just drop I'm in the comments so that we can celebrate you and give you your props. We want to give you your props. So let me know if that's something that you do. So if you get your ticket to the tour while we're live, drop I'm in the comments because I definitely want to celebrate those who buy their ticket while they're live. Okay. So my name is Ashley. I help experts land 5- and 6-figure contracts, corporate coaching, consulting, and speaking contracts. And I love what I do. I'm really excited about what I do. And I do it for a very specific reason because I realized that there were a lot of brilliant people in the world who knew their stuff, got the degree, had everything they needed, but they were just not selling it like they know they should. If that's you, drop me in the comments. And so what I saw happening in the marketplace was the best marketer wins, even if the best marketer wasn't the best expert. You know what I'm saying? And so I wanted to make sure that great experts knew how to market, knew how to sell, and could outsell. One thing we used to say a lot, we don't say it as much anymore, but one thing I used to say when I first started, I was real direct about this. I was like, I want to make sure the real experts can outsell the fake ones. You know what I mean? So when I came online originally, people were always talking about scammer this, scammer that. And I was like, well, if people who knew their stuff would just sell and market better than people who were frauds, then we wouldn't even have this problem. We wouldn't even be in this mess, right? And so a part of our mission is to help you sell more services, showcase your expertise so that you can change the world through your expertise and through your knowledge. So let's get into this content. 4 parts to you making more money in your business. Number 1, you need to assess. Somebody drop this in the comments. Drop assess in the comments. And this is a big part of what we're going to be doing at our events this year. It's a big part of what we're going to be talking about at the tour. It's like, how am I going to assess where I'm at? You need to do a real deal assessment. Somebody drop assess in the comments. You want to assess where you're at and where you're going. You want to assess where you're at and where you're going. So you want to do an assessment of where you're at right now and where you're going. And where you're at, specifically, the thing that you want to assess is what's working for me right now. What is working in my business right now? What's working in my marketing strategy right now? What's working operationally? So, what am I doing really well with my team? And then what's not? And so often I see business owners only focus on what's not working, but not focus enough on what is working right now. So you want to do an assessment of like, yo, what's working? What can I do more of and get results? And then what should I be doing less of to get results? So you want to know what is working right now. What's working right now? Okay. And if you're joining us on Instagram, if you comment the word tour, we will send you all the information about the Speak Get Ready Cash Resurgence Tour. All right. Cool. So, what's working? You want to assess what's working and what's not. Specifically, what's working in your sales, what's working operationally, what's working in your marketing. What am I doing right now that's actually getting business in? And I bet you can probably tell me what's not working, but what is working? If you're getting clients organically, how much are you posting? Are you posting every day? If you're posting every day and you're getting clients organically, that may be something that's working. But you need to narrow it down to, hey, I'm posting once a day around noon and I'm getting one sales call booked per week. Typically, that person is doing a DM conversation with me before they book a sales call. Right? Or you want to know, like, I'm having 50 people click that link in my bio every single week. I'm having 50 different people click that link in my bio. Because if those 50 clicks are resulting in one sales call, then if you were to get 100 clicks, that would result in more sales calls. So then you can get into the nitty gritty of, well, what am I posting? What does it look like I'm posting? Am I posting the way I should be posting? Do I have a strong call to action? Do I have too many links in my bio? You want to do an assessment. And now some of you may be looking at this and you're like, Ashley, I get it. I should be doing an assessment, but you're not doing it because you don't think it's work that leads to revenue. I want to tell you guys this. And I almost wish I had my vibe board. I tried to ask my husband to put it on. Maybe he did it. He ain't looking at his phone right now. Okay. Dang. Okay. Here's what I want to tell you guys. There is a level of work, right? And let me see if I can. Oh, this is the vibe board. Okay. I may be able to put this vibe board on, which is going to take this to the next level. If y'all want me to go to the vibe board, just comment vibe in the comments because I really want to show you guys this. I think it'd be so incredibly powerful. And I may even call my husband while I'm live and see if he can come help me. Because I don't know why he's not answering my messages unless he went to get our daughter. Dang. Okay. Here's the thing. There is some work, you guys. Oh, hey, Chris, it's me. I'm on live. But can you turn on my vibe board and give me that handheld mic thing? All right, thanks. We may be in the money. Okay. There's some level of work, you guys, that you all think like, oh, the only work that matters is when I'm doing sales calls, or the only work that matters is when I'm posting live. And so you don't do the deep work in the dark. What is deep, dark work? Deep, dark work is the work that will produce the most fruit, but no one will applaud you for it. I'm telling you right now, the success of your business is based on the work you do in the dark. It's not always the work you do in the light. The work you get to do in the light is like the work you get to do. But the work you need to do is that work that doesn't feel fun, that you don't get paid a lot of money for, that no one will applaud you for. It's not really Insta worthy. You know what I mean? Like, it's that work. And a part of that work is the assessment of your business every quarter, every week, every time your sales ain't salesing. You need to do an assessment so that you can see what is it that's really working. The cameras are good. I just need the vibe board on and I need my little handheld mic thing. Okay. Oh yeah, it could. Oh, okay, cool. So I can even stand up. That's nice. I don't know if the stand-up mic, the camera is on. But listen to me on this. Assessment is key. Assessment is key and assessment is critical. If y'all are with me, drop with you in the comments or drop yes in the comments. All right. So number one is assessment, assessing what's working, assessing what's not. Okay. Number two, if you want to make more sales, you need to start leveraging the assets that you have already developed. You need to start leveraging the assets that you have already developed. Now, here's what I wanted to show you guys on the vibe board. We'll get to that in a minute. But one of the things that I want you all to know is that if you are going to, in your assessment process, there's a couple of things that you should look at that we've looked at that have really helped us go to the next level. One of those things is, what's working from a content perspective. But the other thing that we do when we assess is we rank all of our clients from 1 all the way down to like whatever that number is. For you, it may be like 600 people you work with this year, maybe 10, and maybe 20, maybe 30, maybe 40. You want to rank your clients from 1 all the way down. Now, you're not ranking them about who you like working with the most. You're going to rank them based on the amount of revenue they have spent with your company. And the reason you're going to do this is because so often we create these avatars. How many of y'all have heard someone say, you need an avatar? You need an avatar to sell to. Okay, cool. I never created an avatar until much later in my business because I wanted to see who was giving me money first. Now, differences of opinion on that. But at some point in my business, I ranked all of my clients from the person who spent the most with me to the person who spent the least with me. I didn't care if it was $1. I got them all on one Google sheet. And then I looked at the common traits. Okay, 90% are women. Okay, 80% are consultants. 100% want to get paid to speak. 100% are having this struggle. When I looked at like the profiles of those people, I was like, okay, great. And then I started highlighting, well, whose case? Because I look at it not like which people do I like the most, whose case, who had business cases that I enjoyed working on the most. So, what types of problems out of all of these clients did I enjoy solving the most? Not who did I like, what problems did I enjoy solving the most? And then, of the problems that I enjoyed solving the most, which problems was I paid the most to solve? This is what I mean by assessment. It's also what I mean by, you guys, this is deep work. This is deep work. And when I say deep work, this is what I mean by that. Because so often, you guys, and hopefully, if you can still hear me say yes, so often, this is the work we want to do. We want to do like the visibility work. What do I mean by visibility work? This is the work everybody wants to do. You want to do the press. Let's see if it'll. Oh, okay. I don't know why I did this. And I much prefer a black screen. Let's see. Background black. There we go. Okay. So people love. I think I'm spelling this right. If I'm not, just assume that I know how to spell it later. This is the visibility work people like doing. So the press, the social media content. Some people love being in Canva, right? The speaking, the live videos, the events. Some people also love the networking. But the deep, dark work that is going to make you more money is going to be what we're talking about now. So the assessment is going to be the evaluation of your business. What's going well? It's going to be the hiring. It's going to be the planning. It's going to be the setting up ads. Like that's something that's not fun to do, but it makes you money. It's going to be the pitching. It's going to be the prospecting. It's going to be it's going to be the training your team. Like, I don't know about y'all, but not my favorite thing to do. But it creates a lot of impact. It's going to be improving your leadership skills. It's going to be studying your craft. This is all like the deep, dark work. It's underneath the business, but it's also like the foundation of the business because your business stands on top of all the stuff that you do down here. And that's the work that a lot of people miss is they don't want to do the deep, dark work. They only want to do the work that is like, I mean, y'all know. Y'all know people want to do the work that gets them seen. But what I've learned in being in business is that the work that gets me seen is cool, but the work that gets me paid is the work that people don't see. The work that gets me paid is developing the team members, sitting in all those interviews, interviewing all those people, looking at all the things that we can do differently and better, that's the work that actually makes a difference in my business. Okay. And so I want to make sure that you guys aren't confused about the work that actually makes a dramatic shift in your business. And one of the reasons why we're doing the Speak Your Way to Cash Resurgence Tour is because I'm like, okay, I want to go out and I want to touch the experts who are changing the world. And I want to implore you to develop and enhance your sales strategy and your scaling strategy because I want you to reach more people. I don't want you to write the book and no one reads it. And the only way people read the book is if you sell it. And sometimes we think we've already done the work because we got the degree, we've gone to school, we have the clients, we're good at what we do. But that doesn't matter if no one knows that you're great. So we have to do the work to sell this incredible expertise that we have. And it really does start with that assessment. So second thing that I want you to do, so 4 parts to increasing your sales. One is assess. Second is you're going to have to leverage. And what I mean by leverage is, y'all, somebody write leverage in the comments. Write leverage in the comments. Here's what I mean by leverage. And shout out to y'all on Instagram in the comments section. Here's what I mean by leverage. By leverage, what I mean is you need to take stock of every asset you have that can help your business grow. And then you need to develop a plan to leverage the assets you already have. So here's what happens. When sales are down, you may not have the same amount of money to invest in marketing as you typically would have. When sales are up, you typically are letting some money slide because you're like, sales are going really good right now. Whatever we're doing is working. So I'm not even going to look at everything else. But what I want you guys to understand is that you should always be leveraging your assets. And if you aren't on a quarterly basis looking at what are the assets I have that I can leverage, you won't leverage them. So if y'all are down for me giving you an example of this, drop example in the comments. Drop example in the comments. And I'm going to give you guys an example. So the Speak Your Way to Cash Resurgence Tour, I developed like a 100-page plan to sell out this tour. And we're in the middle of that plan right now. One of the things that I wanted to make sure that I did was that because I wanted to spend about $3,500 to $5,000 per city, I cannot go over $5,000 per city. I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I developed my budget. I'm like, I'm gonna be $3,500 to $5,000 per city. Now you all know I spend a good amount of money on ads. We have spent over $600,000 on ads. And one of the things that has given us is a ton of data. It has allowed us to reach millions of people around the world. And it was the driving force between us being able to do an event in Ghana and sell it out in like 2 days in a whole new country. So I love running ads. And one of the things we're going to do at the Resurgence Tour is I'm going to tell you what I have learned from thousands of paying clients, hundreds of thousands of impressions, millions of people who have seen and interacted with our brand over the past 3 years. So we pulled all that data and we're going to present it at the Speak Your Way to Cash Resurgence Tour. It's going to be off the chain, so make sure you're in the building. Comment tour to get your seat, and I will send you the information personally or have automation do it, okay? So all that to say, typically I run ads. But if I'm doing a campaign and I have something that I need to sell, but I don't want to spend a large ad spend, then I need to develop a plan that involves me leveraging the assets I already have. Well, when I sat down to develop my sales plan, and if you don't know what a sales plan is or what one looks like or any of that, then what you're going to need to do is come to the Resurgence Tour because I'm going to show you a sales plan so that you know what that looks like. But you need to plan to sell your services. So before you just go out there and start doing stuff, you need to develop a plan that makes sense based on the numbers. So when I talk about leverage, here's what I mean. I mean, you need to make a list, and we're going to go back to the board. You need to make a list of all of the assets that you can actually use to sell your offer. Now, when I made my list, I was like, okay, well, I have YouTube subscribers, right? So we have like 3,800 YouTube subscribers. Shout out to the Ashley Nicole Show YouTube page. Check it out. Then we have Threads subscribers. So Threads is like Instagram's competitor for Twitter. It's like a Twitter account. You know, we have a Threads account. It's like 20,000 people over there. Then we have TikTok. It's 20,000 people over there, right? Then we have YouTube. So YouTube, we probably have 3,500 subscribers. They're already said YouTube, okay? Then we have Instagram. We just hit 11,000 followers on Instagram. Then we have an email list of 5,600 people, 56,000 people. Now, there's some other stuff on here like LinkedIn. I think we have 9,000 followers on LinkedIn. And then there may be something else. But I took inventory of all of the assets that I have. The podcast. We have podcast listeners. So I need to record. I'm gonna put this on the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast. So if you're listening to the Speak Your Way to Cash podcast, go get your ticket to the Speak Your Way to Cash Resurgence Tour at www.speakyourwaytocash.com/tour. At the www.speakyourwaytocash.com/tour. So we have podcast listeners. Now, if I'm trying to sell something and I don't want to spend a lot of money on paid advertising, then I need to develop a plan that literally leverages every single asset that I have. And I need to make sure that on at least a daily basis, or maybe for the podcast, a weekly basis or a monthly basis or something, I am developing content for all of these platforms. Because if I'm not doing that, then I'm not even leveraging the assets that I have. Now, let's say you have like 2 subscribers on YouTube, 500 people on your email list, but you have about 2,000 people on Instagram. Then you want to make sure that your primary asset that you're going to leverage will likely be Instagram. So you want to go live on Instagram, you want to be in your stories, you want to be in your reels, you want to be leveraging your, putting a link to the offer that you have, you want to be doing everything on Instagram. And then for every other asset, you may post on there once a day. But on Instagram, you may do 5 times a day. So you would create your content for Instagram, and then you would leverage that content or use AI to say, hey, convert this caption into an email, convert this caption into a thread, convert this caption into a TikTok video or a script for a TikTok video that I can create. Convert this into a YouTube, something I can put in as a YouTube short. Make it a LinkedIn article, make it a podcast topic that I can do a 30-minute segment on. So you may start with your most valuable asset and then you leverage it on everywhere else. Now, why is that critically important? Here's what I'm going to tell to you guys. And I know some of you guys are thinking this because this is something that I thought too. Is like, if I only have X amount of people on there, will that even work? But it's like, it's free real estate. So if you look at how we promoted this Resurgence Tour, and I want to see y'all in the building. We have a header on YouTube. We have a header on LinkedIn. We're going to put this audio on the podcast tonight. We have a Threads account. We've been putting it on TikTok. It's on our email list. It's literally everywhere. And we develop a sales plan where we got people on a wait list, and then we promoted to the wait list for a week, and we launched tickets today after promoting to the wait list for a week. So, but what's different about this launch than every other launch that we've done, we use advertising to kind of save you some time on organic content, is we leverage all of our assets. And the only way I was able to develop a strong sales plan based on the assets that we have is by first figuring out what assets do I have that I can leverage. So you start with your assessment, what's working, what's not. Then you want to figure out what assets can I leverage? What assets can I leverage to make more sales? Because what you may find is that, oh my goodness, yesterday I only had 200 people on TikTok. Today I have 1,000. I'm not talking to 1,000 buyers. Why am I ignoring 1,000 buyers right now? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I don't want to be ignoring 1,000 different buyers. So you want to look at what it is that you can leverage, right? And then outside of that, then you want to go into the planning process. Now, the planning process is a really important process when you're looking to get more sales. Planning is your key to expansion. The only difference, this is true. One of the biggest difference, this is even more accurate, one of the biggest difference between me doing a launch and making $10,000 and me doing a launch and making a couple $1 million is how much time I took to plan. The more time I planned, the more revenue that particular launch made me. Because the longer I spend on the planning process, the more intricate, the more specific, the more impactful I can make that particular launch, right? So your planning process is really important because it helps you to determine, hey, I'm going to make this sales plan detailed and intricate and specific and targeted and tailored. I'm going to think about the best messaging, the best marketing vehicles, all of that is going to go into my plan. What am I going to do daily? What am I going to do weekly? What do I want to have other people do? All of that goes into my sales plan. It's really a sales and marketing plan. It's a sales plan primarily because I focus every marketing effort on increasing sales. And so when I think about that planning process, the more you plan, the more intentional you are about anything, you're going to see a different level of results. If you're more intentional, you should expect to see more intentional results, right? And so planning is important. And then the last piece of it is execution. You got to execute. You got to get out there and get it done. Do you hear me? Execution is critical. If you do all of this and you don't execute on the plan, then you're not going to see the result that you want. So here's what I want to do. I want to personally invite you to join me at the Speak Your Way to Cash Resurgence Tour. It's coming to Chicago, Dallas, Houston, DMV, and Atlanta, and I need to see you there. Now, the DMV only got one VIP ticket left. 70% of their seats are already sold out. Dallas and Houston are 40% sold out. I think there's like 4 seats left VIP for Houston, and then there's 40% of all the general tickets are already sold out. And then Chicago is also like 30 or 40% sold out at this point. I think they may have like 4 VIP seats left. And then Atlanta was 20% sold out last I checked. I think we got a few more sales in from Atlanta. So basically, in a couple of hours of tickets being live, most places are either 40 or 50%, 40 to 70% sold out. Which means this is like within a few hours of launching tickets, which means we are selling this tour out. Guys, the Resurgence Tour's price is not prohibitive. We did this tour for just $49. Why? Not because it's going to be whack or it's cheap or inexpensive. Like, the content itself is meaty, it's valuable, but this is my way of going to my community and saying, hey, I'm here for you. I want to help you grow during this time. Let's get after it. So if you're like stuck in 6-figure land, you feel like 20K months is it, like that's all you've been able to hit, you want to go further, I guarantee you it's in your plan. If you're like, hey, Ashley, I'm trying to make my first 6 figures, I've been really working on it, I guarantee you it's in your plan. If you're already a 7-figure business and you're like, well, I just want to add corporate speaking as a revenue stream, I want to develop my group coaching program, I want to sell my expertise in a different way, or I want to sell more, even though I'm making 1 million, I want to have 200K months, right? It's in your plan. And so the most important linchpin to you growing your sales is your sales plan. Now, we're going to go through, at the Speak Your Way to Cash Resurgence Tour, a 10-day cash infusion strategy that almost any service-based business can use to increase sales in 10 days or less. But we're also going to spend a good amount of time on what is your sales plan, developing that sales plan, doing live, hands-on hot seats, actually helping you to assess what you need to do to get from where you're at to where you're going. When you register, you're actually going to get, you guys, an orientation form. So we want to orient you even to the tour. Like, we aren't just popping up. We are tailoring the content in every single city to the people whose butts are in the seats, right? Like, we're asking you to do an intake form so that we know who's there. We can start researching you. We can start looking at what you're doing online. We can know who you are so that when I come to your city to coach you for that day, I'm ready to coach you for that day. Doors open at 9 o'clock. We start at 9:30. We're going to go 9:30 to 1:30 or 2 in each city. It's going to be off the chain. VIPs, I highly recommend you upgrade to VIP. You get early access to the venue, preferred seating, and you get preferred Q&A selection during the event. It's going to be off the chain. When I tell you, team and I have been meeting about logistics. We already got our flights booked. I even started packing, thinking about my outfits, hiring makeup artists. Like, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. And the word resurgence, you guys, it's a synonym for revival. And I chose that word deliberately because there are some of you who are like, I need to be revived in my business. Like, I like what I'm doing, but I'm feeling like I'm getting comfortable. I'm feeling like, okay, well, last year's goals, this year in January, I made these big goals to hit 20 million or whatever, and I'm not trending. So I'm just going to give up. I'm going to take my foot off the gas. And what I was seeing over and over and over and over again was experts who are dope at what they do take their foot off the gas. And I just hated that. I hate that for y'all. I hate that for us. I hate that for the people who are like, I am waiting on you to use your gifts to help me get to the next level. I hate that some of us are taking our foot off the gas instead of just figuring out, am I in the right car? What do I mean by am I in the right car? Am I using the right sales vehicle? Because what I'm using is wearing me out. Am I driving the right car because I'm not going fast enough? We can change your vehicle without you taking your foot off the gas. You can put your foot on the gas more, but maybe you need to change the sales vehicle that you're using. And so we're going to talk about, are you using the right sales vehicle to scale your sales the way that you want to do it? It's literally it's a mini intensive in your city. And some people are like, man, I wish you were coming to New York, or I wish you were coming to LA, or I wish you were coming here. But then there's other people who are like, yo, I'm on the wait list for Dallas. I'm taking a flight from Cali to get to Dallas because it's not too far. So whatever city we're going to, I want you to go online Look up drive times. Figure out what's the closest city to you and get your ticket to the Resurgence tour. If you're in Arlington, Texas, you gonna meet us in Dallas. That don't mean, oh, she ain't coming to Arlington, I might as well not go. No. If you are in Indiana, you gonna meet us in Chicago because we're gonna be in Chicago. If you're in New York, you're gonna come to the DC stop because that's our East Coast stop. So don't let anything stop you from getting in this room. And let me be real, most of my events are thousands of dollars to attend live and in person. $49, like that's wild. That's not even a real rate. So I think you absolutely have to ask yourself, can I handle more sales in my business? If the answer is yes, then get in the room because ain't nobody coaching you for $49. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is your best bet. There's no price barrier. There's not a location barrier. You don't even have to drive far. We got 5 cities for you to choose from. So get your plane ticket, your bus ticket, just drive on over and get your seat to the Resurgence tour and do it by midnight tonight. Do it by midnight tonight. Why would I do it by midnight tonight? Do it by midnight tonight. We have a surprise for those who buy on the first day. Do it by midnight tonight. We have a surprise for those who are buying on the first day. So we want to make sure, and if you're listening to this on the podcast, I'm going to put it on the podcast a little bit later. So you'll still have time. I'm going to put it on the podcast today. So you will have time to buy by midnight tonight. I want to see you guys buy by midnight tonight. Okay. Like, we're so close to selling out DMV and Chicago. I already know if you're in those states, you should not be waiting. But Georgia, I want to see you get your tickets. Dallas, Houston, I want to see you get your tickets. Let's go. Houston is the first stop. So I'm going to Texas first. But it doesn't matter when we're going. These tickets are moving right now. So we need you all to get your tickets to the Speak Get Ready Cash Resurgence tour. I want to hang out with you and see you in person. It's going to be incredible entrepreneurs in the building. I've already looked at some of the lists, the people on these lists. Oh my goodness. It is off the chain. It's going to be so good. Okay. So I want to see you guys there. It's going to be an incredible time. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see you in the building. And if you are joining, just comment and let me know what city I'm going to see you at. But I will see y'all at the Resurgence tour. So you can comment to our Instagram, or if you're listening to this on the podcast, just go to www.speakgetreadycash.com/tour and get your tickets. It's also linked in my Instagram bio. My Instagram account is at The Ashley Nicole Show. And I will see you guys there. Have a good one.